Do you have that movie for you that is pretty damn near close to perfect? It's thoroughly entertaining, it has you from beginning to end, and is just endlessly rewatchable? That is the kind of reaction that I have to have when someone asks me, what is my favorite movie, or what is one of my top 3 favorite movies? It has to be a movie that makes me respond in that way. Today, we're going to be going back to a film from 2002 where you have the director Sam Mendes from American Beauty, who directed Tom Hanks and Paul Newman in the classic Prohibition Al Capone era crime drama Road to Perdition. Let's talk for a minute. I love. Did I say love? Love this movie. Road to Perdition is that movie that I can geek on about for days. So many things in this film, so many moments in this film, everyone who is involved with this film, whether they were in front of the camera or behind the camera. This is one of those movies where all of that work and that talent just came together so perfectly that to me, this was one example of experiencing pure movie magic. With this film, you had Spielberg's DreamWorks, as well as 20th Century Fox. This is way before Disney bought 20th Century Fox and then rebranded it as 20th Century Studios. These groups came together and also made this movie. Sam Mendes is the awesome director who also made this movie, and this was his follow-up to the 1999 Best Picture winner that he directed, American Beauty. And this talented director followed Road to Perdition with some other great films like Jarhead, Skyfall, and 1917. The movie is adapted from the graphic novel series of the same name by Max Allan Collins and Richard Piers Rayner. Now we definitely got to talk about the cast. Check out this incredible roster. Tom Hanks, known from the movie Elvis, as well as the Toy Story franchise. Paul Newman, the legend from so many classic films, too many to count. Tyler Hoechlin, who, just to give you an idea, 20 years later from when this movie was made, now he's known for being in the CW series Superman and Lois. Daniel Craig. This is before Daniel Craig was James Bond. Jude Law in easily what is one of his most underrated, underappreciated performances ever as the mischievous and evil and very unsettling Harlan Maguire, who is a member of the press and also has other things he's up to, which cause some troubles and challenges for our lead character of Tom Hanks playing Michael Sullivan. Jennifer Jason Leigh, another heavy hitter actor, and there was one issue that involved her with this movie, but I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Stanley Tucci from The Devil Wears Prada, Syrian Hines, this guy is in everything, just like this other actor, Dylan Baker, who's also in this movie. These two actors, they're in everything. Look at how many movies and shows these two have been in. It's really impressive. And now I'm going to come back to that thing about Jennifer Jason Leigh that I was talking about. I don't really have anything negative about this movie. Usually when I'm talking about this film, it's just praising this movie. I love this movie, as I've said so many times already. But there's a frustrating detail with Jennifer Jason Leigh. She plays the character of the wife of Michael Sullivan, of Tom Hanks's character. Jennifer Jason Leigh is a heavy hitter actor. She's been in a lot of great movies. And the role of Michael Sullivan's wife has very few lines, very little screen presence. And I just don't think an actor like Jennifer Jason Leigh is appropriate for that role. She deserves roles that are far more substantial. I think what would have worked better is to cast an up-and-coming actor or an actor that's not as recognized and have this be an opportunity for a movie where they can grow their career from there. That is my one and only complaint, my one and only negative with this movie. Most of this movie, though, focuses on the relationship between Tom Hanks' character of Michael Sullivan and his son, Michael Sullivan Jr., played by Tyler Hoechlin. He begins to learn the truth of what his dad really does, that he is an enforcer for the crime boss, John Rooney, played fantastically by Paul Newman in his last role. But now let's get to all the really great stuff about this movie. I already talked about Sam Mendes and the directing and his track record. Then there's also the cinematography, and for that you have Conrad Hall, the cinematographer who won the Academy Award, posthumously unfortunately, for this movie. The look of this movie is beautiful, and there are so many things going on with the look and how everything is so skillfully framed with all the shots of this movie. Thomas Newman is the composer of this movie, and dude, what you did with this movie here, I love the music in this film. Not just like one or two. I think this is one of those few movies where I love every single track in the film and how it makes you feel when you're watching the movie. The pacing with the editing of this movie, the visual effects and how they are seamless in this film. The entire art department doing a beautiful job with everything again with this movie. The costuming also was incredible, and the entire sound department. Sound played a really, really big role in this movie. And don't just take my word for this. This movie was nominated for several Academy Awards. Let's run through the categories. Best Supporting Actor for Paul Newman. Best Art Direction for Dennis Gassner and Nancy High. Best Cinematography for Conrad Hall, and he won for that category. Best Original Score, Thomas Newman. He should have won for that category. Best Sound by Scott Millen, Bob Beamer, and John Pritchett. Best Sound Editing by Scott Hecker. Road to Perdition has so many moments, so many snapshots, and so many crazy instances of unique tension that make this movie an absolute classic and endlessly rewatchable. As I said before, anytime this movie is on, I will stop what I'm doing and I have to watch a little bit of it. Really meaning all of it. I cannot strongly recommend this movie enough, and as of the recording of this episode in May, this film in the United States is available to stream on Amazon Prime Video and Paramount Plus. It is also available to rent and to buy on all platforms. Do check it out, and I promise you will not regret it. Thanks for listening.